Girl, don't do it. It's not worth it. I'm not gonna do it, girl. I was just thinking about it. I'm not gonna do it. I did it.
I feel like a cat when you spray like that. Like when you spray them, tell them not to do something. Bam, boy, bam. Is this recording? Oh, hey, didn't see you there. It's me, Clen. I love the mullet so much that I was at war with myself. But I loved it.
Short attention spans.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm undiagnosed, but we're doing a PIXIE with a rat tail.
Yes.
Because I love a good rat tail. But now mullets are the shit, and I love them, and it makes me feel badass. Like when I have a mullet, I am so much tougher. You know what I mean?
You are.
I am. When I had my mullet, and then I pulled it back into a ponytail, I was like, ooh, what? A PIXIE? I was like, a PIXIE.
And I'm so glad she did decide on a PIXIE. Wait till you see this. Right now, I'm establishing my length, just about 1 inch to 1.5 inches longer than what I want my desired outcome to be. You'll see why in a minute. I'm going to begin elevating my section to create layering. I'm using comb tension to compensate for strong hair growth patterns. By elevating the hair higher than the sectioning, I will achieve a strong taper at the base of the exhibital, while still maintaining some of my length. If you feel it easier to remove some of the length before you get into the layering, by all means do so. For me, I just like to dive right in.
How have you been feeling about life lately, Kaylin?
That's a good question. Ow! Stabbed me in the neck.
I don't pay my bottles.
I've been feeling like kind of scared to live life. We're getting through it day by day. I know everyone's got their anxieties and their sadness right now. Everyone's bored out of their mind. Everyone is, anxious as hell. I think that's pretty normal at this point. I work retail. People will get angry at me for doing my job. And I always try to approach them with a very open and kind energy because I know how aggressive people are right now. And that's what I mean when I say I'm afraid to approach people. It is so unpredictable. The divide is so real right now. You can see the kindness in people so much easier, but you can also see the aggression and the anger so much easier.
Yeah, do you feel people just don't have the patience?
Yeah, people don't have patience, or they have a ton of patience because they understand. That's what I mean with the divide and the types of people you come across. It's just very obvious now. For instance, I told this lady, oh, please don't touch the testers, but I can spray anything for you. And she got angry and she huffed and puffed and she just slammed it down. I shouldn't have said this, but I did say, I was like, okay, I'm so sorry. It's just for everyone's safety. I hope you have a good day. And she just turned around and she was like, oh, shut up. And then she just left.
So when you get home from work, how do you feel when you get into your apartment and, whether Con's at home with you or not, how do you find you're managing yourself when you get home?
I smoke a bowl immediately. I'm also not lying on this podcast. My doctor said it's okay. My doctor said it's good.
The need to do that, does it increase more on a work day than a regular day?
Actually, no. I have to. This is a whole other can of worms. All right.
Do I want to know all of this?
This is too much. Days of work, I smoke less because I'm at work. So I can't smoke when I'm at work.
Which is good. I'm glad we've covered that.
Yes, I do not do that. It helps me to relax and have a good time, at night, and just chill. I need to manage the way I need to have more spiritual upkeep in my daily routines.
So when you say spiritual upkeep, what do you mean by that?
Spiritual upkeep, for me, it is doing yoga, doing my meditation, focusing on my intention. Yoga is releasing tension and pent up, misaligned energies in the body. Oh, look at Mo covered in my hair.
Remember, when cutting horizontally, you create an immediate taper by over-directing your section of hair higher than your parting. Once I've reached the strongest protrusion of the exhibital, I start to direct my next sections down toward my guide. I'm using light tension, again, to compensate for hair growth pattern.
My cat is just covered in my hair right now, sweating it out. That is big. Yeah, you're literally releasing toxins when you're sweating, like physically and emotionally. I have to do that in the morning. If I'm working, I need to do it first thing, otherwise I won't do it when I get home. When I don't do yoga for like even 2 days, I feel it. My stress, my anxiety, my breath is so disconnected. And I feel disconnected. I feel all discombobulated. And you start focusing on things that don't matter, like the material world and possessions and money and
Obsessing.
competitiveness.
Thought patterns.
Yeah.
Keep ruminating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that too. Hey, not only that, but when you started yoga,
Yeah.
how many dress sizes did you lose just from doing yoga?
Oh yeah, that's a big thing too. I've always been chubby my whole life, and it was always a thing, and I could never stick with a workout that made any type of difference. During the lockdown, I started doing yoga, and I just fell in love with it because it's so chill. It is hard. Like, don't get me wrong. People like to pretend like there's only one type of yoga, like gentle restorative yoga, and that's just not true. I just did it like in smaller increments instead of forcing myself to sit through an hour-long class, because I just can't. I get bored, I get distracted, I get, you get fed up. And sometimes I do a 20-minute flow, sometimes I do a 45-minute flow. It just depends on how I'm feeling. I do that probably 5 times a week, and now I feel like a skinny legend, so.
When we get into sectioning behind the ear, I like to use diagonals. Diagonal sectioning helps me reduce bulk, and especially in this case, you can see how I'm over-directing the back to the side to maintain length in through the back. Now I'm going to start using my comb tension again to create the layering. Again, just keeping my comb parallel to my sectioning, scooping up the hair, and moving the hair as I cut to create softness and to blend that longer back to those shorter sides.
You know what, this new trick that I just learned from a girl that I love to listen to. I don't know if it was Leor Alexandra. I love listening to her. They were saying that when you take a shower, to literally, like, no distractions, just keep your music off, unless you want to play like some healing tone. You know, the hang drum music and like the healing tone. Yeah, stuff like. I just know how it makes me feel. And I just know that it genuinely helps me cleanse. When you get so stagnant and tired and angry and irritated and you're bogged down, your aura and your energy, it's science, man, you know? Like, you're seriously consumed and overwhelmed with all these other outside energies and ideas and illusions. And when you take a shower in the morning or at night or whatever, keep your music off or play some healing tones and just
wash it down the drain.
Yeah, quite literally. Imagine all the negativity going down the drain. And I say to myself,
I love that.
I am safe. I am cleansed of all misaligned energies that do not serve me. You just picture it all leaving. You say, I'm safe, I am capable, I'm strong, I am healthy, I am happy. Like, that's a big thing. I used to be the person that would like get so angry when people would tell me I needed to try meditation. Old Clen was angry. She was an angry lady. And when I told my friend that, it was Crystal, actually. Crystal, shout out Crystal. Love you, Crystal.
Crystal, we love you.
Yes, because she planted the seed.
Crystal with a K and Crystal with a C. Crystal with a C, we love, and Crystal with a K, we love.
That's true. This was Crystal with a C. I was telling her about how I wanted to get CBD, and she was like, well, yeah, you can do that, but it's not really going to help in the long term. Like, you need coping mechanisms that will help you in the long term. Like breathing exercises and stuff like that will really help with your anxiety. And I just remember being like, I was like, no, like, like literally I'm not even kidding. I was like, how? Like, literally, how does that help anything? How does that, like, meditation? I didn't understand it.
Yes.
No, I don't know what I thought was going on, but I don't even know how the heck oh yeah, because I found yoga, and then because of yoga I found meditation, and then because of that it just kind of all snowballed into each other. This is an interview, a Clen Whitehead interview.
I think the musings are extremely important.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how else to talk about shit without sharing my own experience about it.
And why should you talk about somebody else's experience? That wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, I can't do that. That's just life sometimes, and you know, those are the things you gotta go through to get to where you need to be. So
When working around the ear, I find the V-shape sectioning to work the best. The top of the V is at the top of the ear, and I keep my comb parallel to my sectioning as I'm working. I'm going in pretty deep around the ear because I do want those sides to be short. I'm keeping my sectioning diagonal, working with the roundness of the head, and I'm pulling the hair at the top of the head down to meet my guide. You can see as I cut, I'm continuously moving the hair. Again, that just creates forgiveness and softness. Now you're just going to do the same to the other side. This is what I love about horizontal cutting. Right away you can see where you're going to create that precision line. Basically, it's already made for you. You just gotta get rid of any of the excess little wispy hairs that may have been left behind. In this section, I am basically removing bulk. I keep my comb parallel to my sectioning. The rules don't change, but you can see how I'm hooking the hair around my finger just to point cut into that bulky area. I'm also creating movement and flow in the hair right now. Fringe trims are definitely my favorite. It's that point where your client can see what you're doing and see the vision coming to life.
I don't know. What makes you look at a person and think you have the right to take from them? You know? Just, yeah, it's really, anyways, we won't get into that because it's depressing. And it makes me wanna puke. Makes me wanna pukey puke. I mean, those are the conversations we need to be having. This is so exciting to me, this feeling of being so ready for this though. Because like I said, I've always wanted a PIXIE, but I knew that if I got a PIXIE, I would crumble. Because I didn't have the confidence. I didn't feel good in my own skin, and I also didn't have the style, okay? If you're gonna wear a PIXIE, you gotta be cute. You gotta have the style. And I'm getting there. I'm not there.
You were always cute.
I'm getting there. So also I'm gonna need people in the city to start minding their own business so that I can go about my life a lot freer. First of all, I get harassed by my neighbors for where I'm parking when they don't even park on that side of the street. I've never seen them park on this side of the street, and they want to scream at me about parking in the parking spot right in front of my house. That happened the first week I moved, and this neighbor dude started screaming at me.
Yeah, that was scary.
Telling me to prove that I live there, and because he wanted my parking space. There was no more parking on the street. And I'm like, sir, when I don't have parking, I drive down the road and find more parking. Like, I don't harass 24-year-old girls who did get a parking spot. Like, everyone is all up in your shit. It doesn't help that I have colored hair. I get it. It's eye-catching, okay? So whether you like it or not, it will draw attention. So I guess that's my own fault. I do that because it makes me feel better. I feel like
You don't have to justify why you color your hair.
I know. That's just a fun thing, I think, is how like when I have my hair colored, I actually feel so much like more myself, you know?
Yeah.
Which is weird because it's not myself. Myself is blonde, kind of murky blonde. But yeah, I feel more me. When I have blonde hair, I just feel quiet and boring.
I feel when I color my hair that I just have a new identity, which it gives me new life. It gives me new, you know, I like it when people respond to it, of course, but I think it's also
Not alter ego, but kind of along that lines, right?
Yeah.
It gives me permission to think out of the box, to think out of my traditional thinking.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't.
Maybe that's why I like it.
Cutting my hair. When I cut all my hair off, it's like renewal.
Yeah.
For me,
feels
it's like. Yeah. Remember, I used to shave my head, and I shaved my head a couple times. I remember, I started dating someone, and they had said, "Because I saw your angry stage," and I was like, I wasn't angry, but you know what? Honestly, when I look back at that, I'm like, yeah, I could have been a little angry.
Your angry stage.
well, you know, when it's just like, you know, because my dating life comes and goes, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's moments where I'm just like, oh, fuck it. I just don't have the energy right now, right? I knew, you know, I wasn't going to be like bringing the boys to the yard with it or anything. And I was quite okay with that. It was something I really just, it releases things.
Yeah.
Cutting your hair releases things. It just
does.
makes you feel.
It's energy.
Yes.
It's old energy. It is a thing in some cultures where hair is so sacred and it holds, this is where I could be wrong, but it holds like sacred energy. But that's what I mean. That's where I'm always so unsure about that, because in my head I always thought that cutting your hair would cut off old toxic energy. You know what I mean? Like just old energy stagnancy. But then I think about those, where these traditions truly come from, like indigenous people and like African traditional like type spirituality, spiritual people. But that's what I mean. Like they grow their hair and keep their hair for so long. So I would like to know like what the significance is of. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like Middle Eastern people do that as well.
Why do you think white people fight spiritualism?
That's a good question. I think that in Western society, we are being conditioned in a way that is for the big companies. It is for big business, and it is for government, and it is for the big people. Our entire education systems, like our 9-to-5s, like the way we live life is entirely centered around that. And it's all about making money and being the best and being at the top. And I'm so fucking over that. It is not even fucking funny. I need that very much to not be the case, because in that case, I'll be miserable. You gotta make money. You have to be functioning in society to a certain extent. But I don't want to play into the rat race anymore, because it's quite honestly what brought me so much anxiety before. It made me miserable.
It made me a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't understand how numb I was to it.
Through spirituality, you find the true meaning of life. And through spirituality, you find yourself. They don't want you to know yourself, because then you know the power that you have.
Well, isn't that the truth? Anyways, back to the haircut. You can see that I'm doing some customization right now. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you would have a description of what I'm doing and why. So I'll leave you with that.
I was listening to Emma Chamberlain podcast, and she was talking about how, hey, it's my butthole. Ooh, I can see the top of my head. Emma Chamberlain. I like that. Emma. It's like the Ema. Never mind, I'm not gonna go into that. Yeah, and she was talking about how reading is the only form of entertainment we have that you actually feel better coming out of it. Like you feel mellowed out, you feel zen, you feel amazing. You have expanded your mind, your knowledge, your know-how. You know what I mean? It's just so healthy. It's good for you.
It is. She could do it.
And you can. It's the same thing as meditation in a sense, that you do have to kind of like work on it. Meditation is not easy to just sit there for even 5 minutes and just not think of anything. Like that's not really the point, and that's not what it's for. You know, it's training your mind to, you're not attaching to your thought processes. Really bad at that.
You're releasing your thought processes?
No, you're just Isn't it more like you're at peace with your thought processes? Like you're not attaching to them. You know? Like, oh shit, paying rent, anxiety. And then it's like, no, when you're meditating, the thing is not to silence your mind. Like you're gonna have thoughts. You can't stop your thoughts. They're gonna happen. But it's not attaching to them. It's putting it in a place, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I see you. Thank you. But like, we gonna be fine, you know? And just not attaching emotionally, you know?
Yeah.
To that thought. That's the understanding I currently have. I mean, I could be wrong, and there's a lot more to it than that, I'm sure. But that's the basic, you know, idea that I have in my head. Oh, don't comb down my eyebrows.
Well, sorry. Come back up again.
We're working on our words over here, Nana. We're not doing a great job, but we're trying.
We're trying.
You're freaking loving it?
I'm freaking loving it.
Like McDonald's?
Yes. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm gonna get that ear modification surgery where they like make their ears look like elf ears.
So I want you to take the mic up, look in the camera, and say something clever.
I can't do that. I don't know what to say. Oh, I know.
Just wait, we're not ready yet.
Are we done? I was like you're doing the same thing over and over again.
Okay, so what do you want to say?
This is me, Clen, with my new hair. I'm a new bitch. Just do the PIXIE because life is too short. Thank you. And my mom is the best in the whole world. Okay, thanks. Bye.